So, and that's where MC Olu Ron comes in. Today in Lagos. Let's take a peep.
Aṣíwájú for president yo. Taking power kò sí ẹ̀ mọ́. Aṣíwájú for president yo. Ìyà ń jẹ wa kò sí ẹ̀ mọ́. Ìtọ́jú ti dé. Aṣíwájú for president yo. Taking power kò sí ẹ̀ mọ́. Aṣíwájú for president yo. For Nigeria president,
We want and all that stuff, yeah. So I know some of you, you know what they call you? They say you be bad belle, Abba. So if MC Olueron lead the march, does that mean that he's leading the marching of Agberos? Come on, man. Agbero, oh, come on. If that should be the Agberos in Lagos, ha. Wow. That's why they say you be bad belly. Let me show you the closer marking. Something closer. This one. I maintain order and all of that stuff. Me, I've told people, I said, listen, if Tifnumbu is contesting to be president of Lagos, I mean, it's better he goes unopposed, Abby. Just saying. But they say, you know, it's like you constantly want to make them prove to you, right? That this Lagos, this same one, Una Konye Konde and all that stuff. So it's going to get interesting that the Ashiwaju is back in Nigeria. So we'll talk more about that later tonight as well. There is this one, somebody who is now the attack dog for Tifnumbu.
We are approaching 2023. Some in the Southwest, specifically Bola Tinubu, believes that his party will field him. I will tell you this today. He has made the biggest mistake of his life. They will not support him. Their position is to keep the presidency in the North. And even if he manages to clinch the nomination for the APC, they will now shift their support to another party that will field a Northern candidate. Mark what I'm telling you today, because I've been right 9 times out of 10 when it comes to these predictions. I've been right. And I'm telling you, I'll be proved right again. That is the mess that we're in this country. So your aspirations are legitimate. You have every right to have an Igbo president. It will be a good thing for this country, for the people of the East, and indeed for the people of Africa.
Africa. You know, that's Mr. Femi Foni Kayode, or for Food Kayode. But, you know, it is politics, as they say. He's hired, and he has to do his job. He's going to be telling you why Tifnumbu is the best. Because they have the best hands to tell you all that. I mean, I don't know if you've heard his partner too. This one will tell you what you think too.
All our, handles online, our supporters online. We have never done so. 80% of the other people's campaign is concentrated on demonizing Asiwaju. They are not selling their candidates. They wait for us to push and begin to demonize. Whereas for us, 80% of our own campaign is to sell our candidates, and 20% perhaps is to, fend off criticisms of our candidates. But the others, it's the other way around. For them, they use only 10% or 20% of their time to try to sell what is not there. For instance, and it is very significant, I want Nigerians to notice this very well, that for one of the candidates, there's really nothing to sell. He only hangs on to the achievements of his boss, because he has never been, like my boss said here, at the wheel. He has never, I said this statement one time at another forum, and they thought I was joking, but now people are beginning to really understand that one of the candidates have never really been in charge of any part of any tier of government, and he wants to be president. He has never been tested and trusted. Even when he was chairman of Economic Council, when he was vice president, he was still reporting to a boss.
Yeah, but
no, hold on, let me finish. I just want to finish. No, but you asked a question. Yeah. It's like, let me add to what my boss said here. You want to take a driver, you want to now, interview people for the position of a driver. A conductor comes, so say I was a conductor throughout during my time. Another one say I actually drove the vehicle. That is the situation we are saying. One is a conductor, he never drove the vehicle. You only hear that it was Obasanjo Atiku regime. What's the meaning of that? Were you in charge? There's nothing like, there was even no Obasanjo Atiku regime. And throughout that 8 years, he was belligerent, disobedient. He was never part of that government. In fact, at the point he left. I'm not being honest. So how do you now compare yourself to somebody who drove a vehicle for 8 years? You say you were a conductor. You were sitting by the door as a conductor.
According to Keyamo, Atifku was a conductor, now applying to be a driver. I mean, a conductor can be a driver too. I mean, you can be a driver and you see, it's just all this. That's their politics, by the way. So more of that later tonight. I said something about the oil theft 2 days ago, if you remember. Yeah, where everybody's acting surprised. There's something I'm going to share with you. Let me see if I can bring that up as quick as possible, okay? So while I go find that, let's go take a peep to the rally in Lagos today, led by MC. I'll be back. I'm coming back to show you something.
morning, everyone. What you are witnessing is the start of the pro-Tinubu support rally. The pro-Tinubu rally organized by the chairman, Lagos State Parks and Garages, in person of Mr. Akinsoya. I will try to zoom in now for you to see him in the crowd. He's waving the APC flag at us. The rally has just commenced here live at Barracks Ojuelegba. You can see pro-Tinubu supporters in their numbers marching to show support for the APC presidential candidate. Okay. Sorry for the break in transmission. Yeah. So we are live. As you can see, I will try as much as possible to zoom for you to see. The rally is being led by...
Sorry for the poor quality of that video, by the way. So we were saying something about the oil theft in Nigeria. Let me just remind you quickly so that I can give you this update too. Like, you know, Nigeria, they said, is losing over 700,000 barrels of crude oil every day. Okay? Which means people were tapping the pipeline. I'll tell you what that procedure simply means, okay? There are oil companies, the oil rigs that you have in the Delta, right? In the Niger Delta region, are mostly owned by different oil companies. So in their, in their different locations, they have capacity of what they are like extracting daily. Now, in all this extraction and all that, there are pipelines that take them from the point of extraction. Now, from that point of extraction, then to they have this other, they have this other I think they call it Trans-African pipeline. They have a word for it. I can't remember the actual name for it. Now, that pipeline is all the extracted crude oil that they are now pumping to other Africa, especially Niger Republic, as they are like moving that way. Now, there are people who have access to, who knows where all these pipes pass through. Okay? So, a country that has the capacity, when you say capacity is like all of the extraction combined from everywhere. They said Nigeria has the capacity of 2.3 million barrel of crude oil every day. Not be every month, every day. Now, since this APC came in, that production has dwindled. You won't believe it. At some point, the total oil production capacity of Nigeria, the oil that Nigeria is actually like selling out, was put at less than 800 barrels a day. What happened to the rest? What was going on? Like, you and I cannot just carry buckets and open tap and start taking crude oil. No be so. Who are those taking this crude oil in this large amounts? Who are the owners of the vessel? Who are those who are actually supervising the water? Then who are those monitoring the pump? Including Nigeria, thank you. Who are those for example, let's say we pump oil. And you know the pressure in the pipe. You have the pressure pump that will tell you this oil that we are pumping at this force is the total amount of this oil, Abi. So if there is any low pressure somewhere that is being drawn before, you know what I mean, that it's been tapped, I mean the gauge, the measure, Abi, what they call a meter, will actually tell, in my own opinion, should tell that something is wrong with this, Abi. Of course, the meter, maybe they don't remove them because they know. I'll tell you this. Put it this way. They now came out after giving a contract to a militant leader, Tompolo, to help them guide all those pipelines and put his boys there so that if there are people, because you know why? Nigerian oil production has been like cut into more than half. And that has affected Nigeria's credit standing too, because money no too come in anymore. The rest of that oil, 750,000 barrels every day, is being stolen. Do you know something? There's a change in that data too. Before this APC, Egbekegbe came in, we had it on record, though. They said oil theft in the Niger Delta, which is Bunkre, breaking of pipeline, punch and all that stuff, They said Nigeria was losing over 50,000 barrels a day, every day. When APC Egbekegbe came in, that jumped to 200. From 200, it jumped straight to 400. From 400,000, it jumped to over 600. Today, they are talking about almost 800,000 barrels a day. So Tompolo became the security guard. And suddenly, they started discovering the pipelines where they've tapped them. And we are investigating the people who are tapping this oil. And who are those who are buying them? How did they take them? Do you know what 250,000 barrels mean? And do you know that 250,000 barrels a day? They said, now, they found a spot. That's what happened. They found a spot. A spot they found, they said that one has capacity of pumping out 250,000 barrels every day, like free tap. You know, get machine, you don't get anything. Just go put weather, you get weather. And then pipes and all that, you attach them and you weld them together. That's it. And you start pumping. I mean, whenever they pump oil from all of the oil rigs, now you go just fetch oil with your bucket, Abi. So everybody is surprised. Hey, they say it's been there for 9 years. So do you think they were taking bucket? They are using bucket to take the oil. They were using vessel. So if you have a spot that is pumping 250,000 barrels of your oil, 250,000, and you know feel them for 9 years. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be 500. Okay, let's put it this way. If you divide 3 million by 250, you will get how many? You get 12. That would be like 12 days. I'll be 10 days. Put it at 12 days at 250,000 barrels every day being stolen. Now, do you know that to steal that kind of oil, you need this kind of a machine? Now, this is where it's going to make a bit sense to you now. And all this, hey, thank you, Buhari. Thank you for exposing it. He's been there for 9 years. They were stealing 50,000, what have you, before APC came in. Between 2015 and 2022, they are now stealing over 750,000 barrels a day. Thank you, Buhari, for discovering after 7 years. Hello? Look at this. It will take you this. According to someone who according to somebody who is in the know of how this oil industry actually works, they said that you will need this kind of tanker. It is a 3 million tanker vessel, as they say. And if you are pumping 250,000 barrels of crude oil into it every day, it will take you 12 days to load this vessel. And if you now have to sell each barrel at $100 per barrel, that simply means that, you will be having a crude oil worth 300 million naira in 10 days. 10 days, you will fill up this tanker with 3 million liters at 3 million barrels at $100 per barrel. This is a $300 million trip every 10 days. And this is what has been going on in the last 9 years. Or put it this way, especially in the last 3 years. This is what you need. Now tell me, as you are watching this video, should that ship look like Keke Napep, Abi Keke Marua, that you can sneak in and sneak out of Nigeria water, and there is no navy, no security, nothing, not even the locals saw them, and you believe that? So in order to show off the discovery, where everybody is so surprised, the NNPC, Shina chairman, they use, I've been a president, I've been a director. He put up this spectacle, a media show off. We are so surprised. Thank you, Buhari. Thank you, Tompolo.
Is there anything you want to tell us? Let's go to
Yes, sir. I want you to just ask a question. Okay, so just to ask you, you said you've noticed that this was on the line. How long do you think this has been? When did you notice this?
Okay, we just noticed it on last weekend.
Okay, last weekend. But so if you look at this 24 inches pipeline,
yes,
you can see that because of the coatings,
yes,
it has not rusted. So it tells you the capacity and the nature of this kind of pipe. Now, if you look at this,
yeah,
this is not something that happened 1 year ago. From the rusty nature of the nuts, bolts, and all of that, it doesn't look like anything that has happened less than 7 to 10 years. If you look at the rustiness of this, and
you can't say it.
okay, so but it's not 1 year. It can be 1 year rustiness.
By another.
I am so surprised. We are so surprised. My friend, come off it. Drop that pretense. You are not surprised. Don't act surprised. It is Nigeria, Abi. It's just that it is the first time you are seeing it on camera, and you are seeing that people actually did that. And for 9 years, nobody saw them in Nigeria. Baba translates that 300 million. This is just one spot. Oh. This is not 700,000 barrel capacity we are talking now. 750,000 barrels a day. In 10 days, that is a 7.5 million barrels. In 30 days, if my mathematics is not that rotten, because I'm so terrible in that mathematics, okay? So 7.5 million in 30 days, we will end up giving you 22.5 million barrels. 22.5 million barrels stolen in Nigeria conveniently, comfortably, and here you are. The poverty capital of the world. Because even when the little they left for you to be used to take care of you finally gets into their hands, they still fail to deliver that. So let us all act like we are surprised. Oh, I'm so surprised. How is that even possible? Hey, in this day, oh, come on, man, drop it. It is business, and it is going to get worse. Good enough for the people of Niger Delta, the owners of the oil. They are now security men, discovering oil installation here and there. I mean, come on, man. It is the system, a system that encourages criminality this way, a system that encourages profiteering. Is a system that is meant to ruin. Listen to me. It is an Armageddon in the waiting. We can keep kicking the can down the road. Let us try another person. Let's try another one again. Oh yeah, let us try this again. You are just kicking the can down the road. Everywhere around you, you are just a disaster waiting to happen. Maybe not by your complete consent, so to say, but mostly by your ignorance and every other thing, every other jara that they have used to blind you to continue to shout, oh, Nigeria is going to be great one day. These characters don't want Nigeria to be great. These are not the ingredients of a great country or a would-be great country. Tell yourself that truth. I mean, be honest. And stop living just in the moment. You know what I mean? They call me revisionist. You like to the revision. You just like to go back and go back. Because if you don't, not learning from history means that we are prone to repeat the same thing. And if you have nothing to learn from history, by the way, at least learn the agony, learn the frustration, learn the brutality, learn all of this assault that the system has actually meted on you, enough for you to look back and say, oh, have I learned that? Have I actually learned something? Maybe not. So if you haven't learned from your history, you are bound to repeat them. And unfortunately, those who fail to learn from history, they are bound to become the victim of that same history repeating itself. And guess what? Many of those that we call and mention their names when we mention things that Nigeria has done and their victims and all that in the past, right? Many of them are not even here to explain themselves and say, man, Orumoru, I wish I never actually believed in this and stood for something even more fairer, something more just, something more equal, something more explainable. That is Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, Arewa nation. These are not stigmas. It is what you are. If you don't embrace it and you continue to embrace this wrong identity, look at this. That is the Nigeria they want. Is that the Nigeria you want? Because you can continue to pretend, or we can continue to say, I'm so surprised. I am not. No, I am not. But it's up to you. So, because you see, one of the failure of Nigeria is the fact that the people who wants to be in charge of Nigeria, they are not trying to be in charge of Nigeria because they care about anyone or anything. They care about themselves and they are not hiding it. Foreign policy. You see, everybody, hey, Nigeria is they abandoned us. Hey, look at how Dubai is treating us. Look at how the UAE, look at what they are doing to us in Europe. Look at what they are doing to us in Asia and all of that. Nigeria cannot come in and, story, man, drop it. Is one of the reasons because they are not interested in you. No, except for the optics, except for the showmanship. You are just statistics in their book. If they don't see you as humans and they see you as numbers, or you probably have no idea that it is more demeaning than anything people have told you before. When your system, when your country actually sees you as a number. Oh, how many are they? The Igbos are not going to vote for it. How many are they? The Yorubas are not going to them. How many are they? Oh, the Christians, and who are they? Serve. You know, that's the society they have for you. Nobody really cares. There is no real identity. There is no real patriotism. Nothing at all. But they are asking you to embrace a faceless identity that has created more chaos, rancor, division, hatred, vile, and all that. Yeah? But if you embrace this and know that Nigeria cares no hoot about you, whether you are in Nigeria or you are outside, though, until you care for yourself. There's been this flooding everywhere in Nigeria for the past 2 months. They say natural disaster. No be natural disaster. The people of Kogi, they have been underwater for weeks now. And it is not a state of emergency in Nigeria. Imagine if Paris is underwater, or imagine if any part of UK right now is experiencing what they are experiencing in Nigeria. And that's not Kogi only. Let me show you some part of Anambra. You know what happened? They said there is this dam that is controlled by Cameroon. It's a big one. So whenever it's this what they call the torrential rain or this endless rain, yeah, the dam takes in a lot of water, yeah, and in order to avoid complete disaster, so they release the water. We are talking about millions of cubic of water. I don't even know that. I mean, I just mentioned that something way too much. I mean, a dam. Like say, they release the water way inside the Osa in Lagos. So whenever they release the dam like that, more than 20 states in Nigeria that are on the path of that water, they will be washed off like that. Communities everywhere, yeah? And the water will endure until the water, they say, for example, the people around Calabar, Anambra, what do you call it, rivers, and all those places, Bayelsa, all this released water has caused flooding there. Properties, farms, lives lost as you are watching this video. So until the water is finally discharged into the Atlantic Ocean, and this can last for weeks. So Nigeria, giant of Africa, just let everybody die. If you live, fine. If you don't live, fine. Now just once in a year, you go recover later because it is Nigeria. They gave them an idea that they could build a counter dam next to the same border with Cameroon, whereby all the released flood water can be received by a stronger reservoir in Nigeria. You know what I could have done in retrospect? Sorry, I don't know what that means, but I'm talking about on the other hand, like, you know, if the disaster you are witnessing right now in Nigeria, if Nigeria was a country that prides itself as the giant of Africa, yeah, they will collect that water, okay, and that same water, rather than cause havoc, could be rechanneled into irrigation projects up north. The same one that they said climate change that is causing a drought, that is causing a famine, and the rest of that, and there's no water up north, is the reasons why, I mean, it's one of the reasons why the Fulani armed terrorists are invading southern Nigeria, because they need to give their cows water. Here you are, water in abundance, none to drink, not even for cow, none for agriculture, but we are calling on God to come and save us. 2022, Anambra.
Global warming kicking back, and the confluence of the two great rivers of the Niger and Benue overflowing.
I don't have the numbers of.
That is actually Kogi. There is one for Anambra I'm going to put up here now, okay? Now, it is just to let you see what people are going through there. This particular one is copyrighted, so I can't really show it all, okay? But you see the beginning of it, that's Kogi there, underwater. The communities in, how did I miss the name? There are few communities in part of Anambra, Enugu, and all these areas who are on the pathway of this water. And as we speak, they are on their own. People of Benue, you know they call Benue food basket of Nigeria. There are bigger farms who have lost hundreds of millions. And guess what? That has also is now contributing more to the food inflation and so many other things that people are going through right now. But they are not making headlines in Nigeria as we speak. So I think, give me a sec. I am going to put us on a short hold, by the way. If you are still here, I'm going to be back in a minute.
Mr. President, welcome. And I've been a student of Nigeria for many years, and first of all, I want to tell you that I have never seen such a hopeful attitude toward Nigeria and the United States as since your election. So I think we all here want you to succeed. My question relates to another area of Nigeria that hasn't gotten much attention during this trip, and that is the Niger Delta. It's a challenge that you're going to face. I wonder if you would tell us how you intend to approach it with particular reference to the amnesty, bunkering, and inclusive development. Thank you.
Inclusive government. Inclusive government. You know, how you include, women, youth.
Yes. I hope you have a copy of the election results. Naturally, constituencies, for example, that gave me 97%, cannot, in all honesty, be treated on some issues with constituencies that gave me 5%. I think these are political reality. While certainly there will be justice for everybody, everybody will get his constitutional right. But while the party in constituencies, by their either sheer hard work, they made sure that they got their people to vote and to ensure their vote count. They must feel that the government has appreciated the effort they put in putting the government in place. I think that's really fair.
Just a reminder. Okay. So I also have a final one to put before we call it afternoon today. And we can possibly meet later tonight where we can take calls. Somebody sent this to me and it didn't go down. It probably didn't go down well with the Emilocons. On this, I can then call it good afternoon, and I will see you later tonight.
Sapa kọ́ńtú wọ́n wá fi dàn hàn wọ́n bẹ̀rù wọ́n wá mẹ́nu àlà. Wọ́n bọ̀ wá ná àtàmọ̀ lọ ẹ̀ràn mọ̀ fẹ́ fi jẹ ẹ̀rẹ̀ kílẹ̀ ọmọ ìnìkàlà jẹ. Bàbá ẹ wá dákun o, iṣẹ́ dé ọmọ aláti ṣe, owó dé ọmọ aláṣẹ là. Fúnra ara wọn ni ẹ máa pariwo pé Yorùbá lọ́kàn. Ṣẹ́ẹ̀sì rí adití ní wakọ̀. Àmọ́ ó dá mi lójú gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti mọ̀ bòódì gan. Bàbá ṣe rí Akínlábí mo lè sọ́yà àbátọ́dá nígbà tí ń bẹ ní rẹ́ẹ̀pù ńgbà kan. Àwọn Akínyẹ̀yẹ́ wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀nà àwọn sọ́spẹ́ẹ̀dì di yunifásitì lọ́dún wo níbo ní ti ń jẹ. Wọ́n láwọn ti gba kọ́ńtráàtì ọ̀nà Akínmọ̀ọ́rìn déédéé dọ́bà níbo ní ẹ ṣe sí. Bọ́ńbọ̀ wá náà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní kí n tú kẹ̀kẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀lẹ̀ wọ́n sọ pípọ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn. Bàbá àmọ́ Bọ́lá Tinubu tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa wí. Bàbá tó jẹ́ wípé bó tiẹ̀ gbọ́ pé wọ́n pé kálukọ́ wá mọ́ tọ́bọ̀ wé pé kò sí wàhálà. Wọ́n ti gbé bàbá pamọ́ níbi wọ́n máa gbọ́wọ́ gbọ́nsẹ̀ bí àwọn tí ń hun sọ ọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ dẹ́dẹ́dẹ́ rẹ̀ ló wúwo bí irin. Bàbá ebi ń pa wá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ rántí pọ́jà kẹsàn-án jóná. Ìgbó jóná gbogbo èèyàn ní káànú àwọn èèyàn tó wó wọn jóná tẹ́rù wọn jóná. Bọ́lá Tinubu ò rí bíìnì kó fún wa nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn ọjà jóná nílẹ̀ Haúsá. Bọ́lá Tinubu gbóbi ń dẹgbẹ̀gbẹ̀ owó ó gbé fún wọn nílẹ̀ Haúsá. Ebi ń para alé, ebi ń para oko, kòró dé gbogbo èèyàn mọ́lé. Bọ́lá Tinubu wa bọ́ ó wà tírélà ọkọ̀ ráìsì ó wá lọ sílẹ̀ Haúsá. Ó ní kí wọ́n máa róúnjẹ. Sáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àyèsè ran Bọ́lá Tinubu mọ́ àsìkò ti tó ní gbèbè yọ dẹ́kun yẹn jẹ ọlọ́gọ́. Ẹ wá máa gbọ́ o torí ẹ̀yin èèyàn bójú ṣe ríre tá a fi jobi lọ́jà ẹ̀dẹ́. Mo nígbàgbọ́ pé lásìkò yìí Akínlábí bá ti wọlé tán iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá yọ ọmọ lálẹ́ wù nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀dá. Bàbá ìfà tí ń dá àwọn tí ń dá kí gbogbo rẹ̀ ò tó rí bó ṣe yé orí ní wọn ò kó bá àwọn eré ní iléeṣẹ́ òfin lálẹ́wù nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ ibi ká gba kọ́ńtàtì ojú ọ̀nà wípé Ajímọ̀bí.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Máyégún dáyàrí pòlítíkò.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún dáyàrí Náyìnbí nọ́mbà 1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.